And so with that, let me talk a little bit about graduate school. If you find this exciting, or you find a different research area very exciting, doesn't really matter. There are many different cool things to do. I started out as a material scientist, and somewhere along the way, I converted to being a nuclear scientist. And both were great fields to enjoy. So if you're thinking about pursuing research, or to pursue your PhD, to work in a national lab, or to do other things, I can talk a little bit about what you can do. So this is what the next few slides are about. And if you have other questions, you're always free to contact me. I can't cover so much material in this short amount of time. So when you consider graduate school, it's important to consider what your career goals are, right? You might want to go into industry, you might want to go to a national laboratory, you might want to go in academia or do teaching, and that you can do at various levels. You might want to go into science policy and join the government, for example. And when you take a PhD, you can go into any of these areas. We have students that graduate and they go in all of these, they go in all of these different areas. About 20% of the physics PhDs stay in academia. That's sort of the number. So that's a significant number, but certainly not the majority. And if you're thinking about careers, there's some great resources. If you're not a member of the APS, I encourage you to do that. They have great websites. I give some links here where you can look into careers. So say you have determined what you would like to do and what your passion is. How do you select a grad school? You know, what area and specialty should you study? And this depends on many different things. Do you want to do theory or experiment? Maybe you don't know. You want to try something out. What areas of physics are you interested in? You know, it can be anything: condensed matter, high energy, nuclear, atomic, biophysics, anything really. And so that's an important consideration. If you're interested in several areas, consider which you enjoy most and is best suiting for getting you to your career goal, right? If you have a clear goal in mind, what is the best program for you to follow? And you know, talk to mentors, anybody, professors, your RU advisor, if you have a chance to do an RU or any other type of research, and do research. I think this is the most important. But talking to mentors, I'll come back to that, is extremely important. And also, if you're very interested in a particular program or group, don't hesitate to reach out to the professor or the graduate program director, right? I get emails all the time from students who are interested in a certain type of research, and you know, I'm happy to answer those, and I'm sure other graduate program directors are as well. So how do you, you know, once you decide, okay, I really want to go to graduate school, how do you select one? Spend some time researching different schools. Don't just pick at random, right? Really look at what is available at the different schools. There's a lot of online resources, departmental web pages. There's searchable databases. But again, ask professors, bosses, mentors for recommendations of schools, and even specific thesis advisors. They might know what area of research might be strong at what university. And think how you perform best, right? That is also important for selecting a graduate school and eventually an advisor. You know, what do you want to do? Want to be very independent? Do you want to work in a world famous group? There's all kinds of considerations that go into selecting a graduate school. So as I mentioned, mentors are extremely important. And I think almost everybody who did a PhD talked to many people, many mentors. And so it's very important to find good mentors and a strong mentoring network. You know, most schools realize the importance of this and they will assign you one, but I strongly encourage you to find several mentors. Different people have different perspectives. And I know sometimes students are a little afraid to ask people for advice, but my experience is that you will find that most people are very keen to talk about what excites them and what they are interested in. So you just have to reach out and people will start talking and giving you advice. There are also some resources like the APS National Mentoring Community, which facilitates and supports mentoring between African American, Hispanic American, and Native American undergraduate physics students, and I provide the link here. So there's ways to get mentoring from from APS through APS. Now, once you decide to apply, I made this slide very recently. I think these are the main components of an application, and I think that's very important. So if there's some of you who are planning to apply soon for graduate school for next year, I think these are some of the important areas to cover. Obviously, you want to talk about your academic performance, your grade point average, the department that you have worked in, research that you have done. Maybe you're on some publications, maybe, and of course, you need to submit letters of recommendation that can speak to your achievements as well. When you look at programs, be sure to write about research goals that match to the department or the program. State the purpose, the breadth and the depth of the research experience. Does it fit with what people at that school that you're applying to are doing? This is very important. So this is where you can show you that you've done some research into the program and that you think that this is an exciting place for you to be. And the next 3 bullets, people tend to forget, but they are very, very important, and they are becoming more important. If you have done any kind of leadership roles, this could be academic, professional, or in the community, evidence of leadership potential or potential to make a distinctive professional or scholarly contribution is very important. If you have been the president of a club, listed, everything there I think is very helpful. The other 2 bullets, contribution to a diverse educational community. This could be personal history and experience, or research goals, or the promotion of understanding among persons of different backgrounds and ideas. And again, if you have served in an organization or did work or outreach, this is something you should definitely list on your application. And another thing that graduate schools look at is the record of overcoming obstacles. And this could be almost anything. This could be social, economic, or personal. But it's typically something that's being asked, and you should highlight. And I think it's important to cover as much as you can on these. Of course, if you haven't been in a leadership role, that's perfectly fine too, right? You cannot maybe have all of these elements, but try to cover these if you can. So finally, say you have submitted and you have gotten some offers. Where do you decide to go? Visit the place if you can. Meet with the professors you might want to work with. Speak with current graduate students if you can. And again, talk to your mentors about your options. They can give you feedback as well. And you don't have to limit yourself to research areas where you already have some experience. Choose what you're most interested in and excited about. If you have done some research in one field, you can certainly sort fields at the graduate level. And maybe you want to try some different areas in the beginning of your graduate school just to see what you really like. Okay, that was it for me. I hope that was helpful. I'm happy, of course, to answer any questions about the presentation or about graduate school.